Have you ever felt something so bad that everything was riding on it? I mean, sometimes that can be some of the most demoralizing thing that we can ever go through as humans. Let me take you through a story about how I almost failed optometry school for good. Stay tuned. Hey, what up, family? How you doing? How you feeling? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. So listen, my name's Dr. Adesola Fade, and I'm an optometrist. If this is your first time being with me today, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel so that you are made aware of anytime I drop content, because I'm dropping content hot and ready to your door plate like Little Caesar's Pizza. So listen, what we talking about today? So today, essentially, we're going to talk about how I almost failed out of optometry school. Okay, so let's just get straight into it. Okay, I'm gonna set the stage for y'all. It's my second year, first semester. Okay, now I'm leaving the didactic portion of the studies and I'm entering more into the clinical relevant courses. So it's time to now start taking things a little bit more seriously. Okay. Now, the way that I like to approach my studies is I'm very much a conceptual learner. That means I get it all in my brain. Things make sense. You do this, you do that. They then form together to create this, and then you get that outcome. And like I can put things together and piece it together if I can see it in my head. Okay. Well, we took a course that none of that applies. You want to know what that course was? Pharmacology 1. So I took Pharmacology 1, and listen, let me tell you something. For those that know that none of that conceptual stuff matters in pharmacology. It's straight up memorization and word association. Okay? So basically, I'm in a situation where I gotta now start utilizing other parts of my brain that I never utilized before. Okay, but I didn't know how bad it was going to be until I got into it. So let's start from there. So the way the class is 4 professors that teach you 4 different types of part of the pharmacology, right? So the way it works is you take the test, then another professor comes in, you take their test, another professor comes in, you take their test, and so on and so forth. Okay. So first test comes around. I'm the type of guy that studies a couple days before the exam because I'm very confident in my skills and I'm a crammer. Like when it's time to get the job done, I can always rely that I'm going to get the job done. It's just the way I've always done it. It's just the way that I am. It is what it is, right? So I use that same approach for pharmacology and that thing ain't work, okay? So what I was doing was I said, okay, looking through the content of the first professor came through, said this is how much, and I'm looking at how much information's in here, and I'm like, yo, this is a lot of stuff. So now I'm looking at like, all right, I'm gonna have to start writing this stuff down. I can't just sit and just piece it together like I do everything else. I gotta literally write it down. So I spent the first day writing things out. I spent the second day writing things out. I'm sitting here so the second day, which is the day before the exam, I'm like, okay, let me look through some of it. I didn't even get through looking at everything before the exam was done, and I just prayed and hoped that what I studied was on the exam. Go take the exam. Not really that confident in it, but I take it anyway, and I'm like, let's see what just happens. This is just kind of like my tester. We'll see kind of how I do. Grade comes out, and I make a 58. A whopping 58. So now my mind's like, okay, we're going to have to figure some things out here. Because the way I'm normally doing things, it ain't going to work in this class. Okay? So this is what I do. I say, all right, I'm normally a 2 day before the test kind of a studier. I said, all right, let me give myself an extra 1 or 2 days. See what I'm saying? So I said, all right, bet we're going to do 2 days now. So then I start, 4 days before, and I'm starting to now do songs, and I'm creating mnemonics and acronyms, and I'm trying to piece things together and in different ways to try to memorize right? But memorization is not my ministry. That's not my strong suit. So I struggled so much trying to do it. But I said, all right, if I'm gonna do it, I gotta try different ways and things that I've never done before. So second test comes around from the second professor, and it's time to take the test now. And I get to the test. I'm way more confident now than I was on the first one. See what I'm saying? Because I spent twice the time learning. I'm still, trying to get it all together. Not as, I'm not as like scared as I was the first test, because I figured we're gonna see what we do now. Take the test. I think I do okay. Get the result back. I made a 68. So I'm looking like 68. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? So I'm like, okay, all right, we're going to have to switch something up here, because I really tried. I applied myself on this one. So something's off here. So I said, all right, bet. I got you. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to start putting myself around other people now. Because normally I'm a solo studier. I don't even like studying in front of people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the type of person that, like, I'll be in a room chilling, give me a little spot in the library maybe, but I'm really a solo dolo studier. I don't really do people, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't really want your opinions and feelings, about what we're studying, because I'm confident in my skills. But this is one thing I'll tell you before I keep going. No matter how, whether you think you're invincible or whatever it is, not just in school, but in life, there are things that will humble you and things that will neutralize you and remind you of your mortality, okay? And I was entering in that stage of like, okay, this is starting to go a little bit beyond my capabilities, okay? So anyway, I'm at the time, I'm studying with people now where we're helping each other, we're testing each other, quizzing each other. I'm testing them, they're testing me. We're doing stuff now. We're creating songs, and I'm doing memory, word association with people that I know in my life. Like, okay, this person has diabetes, that person has high blood pressure, this person has high cholesterol, that person has, mental issues, this person has that, this person. I'm doing whatever I got to do to try to put together something to make it stick. But it's not sticking. But I'm at least like learning it a little bit better than I was before. So I thought that maybe, I would, this would really, really help me. So I gave myself 7 days. Said, you know what? First test I did 2 days. Second test I did like 4 days. Okay, this time I'm giving a whole week I'm devoting to just this test. And I got other classes too. We got, 6, 7 other classes that are still just as demanding, but I'm like, I gotta put work in, because this test is not forgiving, 1, and then 2, it's not my strong suit, so I gotta really step it up. So now I'm doing all this. Third test comes around. Now mind you, of course, you can already assume that I'm starting to feel the anxiety. I'm starting to feel like, it's about to start getting crazy up in here. It's hot. Anybody else hot? Because I'm getting hot now, because I know what's riding on this. Because it's like, if I don't do well in this one, I only got one more. So it's already starting to get real hot in there for me. So I'm like, okay, God, come on, man, let me get this one. So I feel more comfortable. I go into the test. I take the test. I'm confident. Come out of the test. Of course, I'm anticipating the scores. The anticipation is killing me, right? Test scores come out. Rush to look at it, because I'm like, I know I did well on this one. Like, this will give me a buffer, like a little bit of a buffer. Of course, you're super confident. Look at the test score. You want to know what I made? 68. Another whopping 68. Didn't even get a 70. So now I'm looking at this stuff. My heart just sinks. Like, you have got to be kidding me. You not serious with me right now. So I'm like dumbfounded And all my flabbers are gasted at this point because I don't understand what's going on. I studied for 7 days. I had help. I used my classmates. I mean, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I still didn't break through. Oh, now I'm sweating bullets. I'm beyond and beside myself at this point now, because now I don't understand. I don't get it. Well, what are we doing wrong? What's going on? Is this the beginning of the end for me? Because the way it works is, my program, if you failed once, you got to start the whole semester all over again. So if you're supposed to graduate in 25, you're going to graduate in 2026, right? It's going to push you. And then if you fail again, you're done. You fail anything, you're done. So for me, I'm like, I'm already in a 5-year program that's supposed to be 4 years. I did it 5 years. So now if I push it back, if I get pulled back a year, that's 6 years. And they wouldn't do that for me because of the program I was in. I was already in an extended program. So they weren't going to let me do another year, make it 6 like that. And if they were going to have to make a real big exception. But I wasn't trying to go through that anyway, because I'm not trying to spend $33,000 a year. Again, I'm already in the hole. Like school is expensive, y'all. So at this point, I'm really sitting here like, I'm desperate. So as soon as the 4th professor comes in and starts teaching, day 1, I go to his office like, "Hey, sir, we're going to have to talk. I need to talk to you. Like, I need you to know what's going on with me, because I'm in dire situation here that I can't get myself out of. I normally can get myself out of these situations because I'm confident in my abilities, but this was beyond me." So I was like, "Listen, please, I need your help." But then I looked at him further and I was like, hold on though. Mr. Such and Such, wait, are you Brandon's dad? Brandon was a dude I went to church with who was also trying to pursue medicine. And I was kind of like a mentor to him because I was already in like optometry school. So, I was talking to him and I would like, we went to the same church and we went to, a lot of the same circle groups and, stuff like that. And I was like, I'm talking to your son. I kind of mentor him. I talk to him, yada, yada, yada. We talk about school. I said, "I didn't know you were working here," and da-da-da. I said, "Man, we talking." He said, "Oh, really? So you know my son, y'all talk?" He said, "Man, that's great. Please keep on talking to him. I'm trying to encourage him to keep pushing to try to go into, medicine and keep trying to pursue becoming a doctor, stuff like that. So please do that. I appreciate you doing that." And I guess that was when God was just like, he just kind of shined a light in that moment, because he said, "You know what? Hold on one second." And he went to grab this big study guide. Now, mind you, he's teaching us hundreds of slides of lectures every class. It's hundreds of slides that we're going through. It's a lot of pages, but he has this condensed study guide that he takes this orange highlighter. I never forget, orange highlighter. He grabs it and he just starts highlighting stuff. Highlight, boom, flip, highlight, boom, flip, highlight, boom, flip. And I'm just like watching him go through stuff, and I'm like, what's going on? So anyway, he hands me the study guide. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "Do you want me to just study everything in here?" He says, "Basically, listen, study everything in there and you'll be fine." I said, "Okay, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it." Leave his office. And I kind of I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I kind of gatekeep it a little bit. I don't go telling people this is what he gave me, because at this point, one, not everybody knows the situation I'm going through, because I'm still putting on my face, keeping it a secret still, kind of like that. I'm really about to fail out. Y'all don't understand. I'm about to not be here no more. So I don't really tell everybody what's going on, because I just had to just kind of keep it to myself and make sure I did what I had to do. Everybody's struggles were not my struggles, and my struggles were not their struggles. They were doing okay. they were not struggling like me. I was looking and hearing at the grades that they were getting, and I was like, damn, I'm not getting those grades. That's not where I'm at. Okay. So I knew, like, okay, you know what? And then also, I didn't want to lead anyone astray just in case it wasn't exactly what it needed to be. So anyway, I kind of kept it to myself. I studied my butt off, for those weeks, because now I ain't studying a week before. Now I'm studying weeks throughout, every day throughout the entire course of that semester. For that last portion of that exam, I'm studying. Because at that point, it's like, I need to make sure that there's, without a shadow of a doubt, I did everything possible to get through this, right? So at the end of the day, test day comes. It's time to take the test. Get in there. I'm obviously like anxious as all get out, because I don't know what's about to happen. So I'm super anxious. I can't really think straight, honestly. My head's still kind of foggy, but I knew, like, if you don't lock in and do what you need to do now, that's it. So I said, you know what? We just gonna do what we gotta do, because it's do or die. It's literally do or die. So I go take the test, and I'm taking the test, and I'm like, okay, look kind of okay. I seen that one. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, that looks familiar. Okay, I start realizing, like, oh snap, like I feel very comfortable, but I don't ever get too comfortable, because you know what happened? I feel comfortable on the last test too. See what I'm saying? So I said, all right, you need to like, don't overhype yourself and don't get too confident, because you did that last time and see what it got you. So you're gonna have to just like keep an even keel and take this test the way you know how to. Because what happens when you're taking tests is that when you see everything, you get so confident, but like you're missing on the key detail because you're associating words with other things. You're like, oh, it's there. Oh. You're getting confused and you're like missing stuff, right? Because because like you learn things from like the front way, but they test you from the sides and from the back. So like you have to like know what you're doing every which way. Okay. So at the end of the day, test is over with. I'm obviously sweating blood like I'm Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane at this point. I'm sweating blood because I'm so anxious about what's about to happen. What grade did I get? Because this is going to determine everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, it's time. Grade points come out. And I can't even explain to y'all, but a peace came over me that said everything's gonna be okay. Like it just kind of calmed me in that moment. It was like, go look, go check. Of course I go check. I'm like, yo man, where we at? So I check it, look for a number, look at the grade, and I make a 96 on the test. 96. And I just remember just kind of dropping down to my knees a little bit and just gratitude and thankfulness to God, because I knew I needed an A just to pass the class. But he did above and beyond what I could have thought, because a 96 was like, dang, now I only missed like maybe 2 questions. Like I only missed like 2 out of like 50 questions. So that to me really, really gave me the confidence I needed. So I was like, yo, so I was ecstatic. So, and then the way it was back then, if you gave blood, like as a class, if everyone gave blood, they'd give you like an extra, point on your overall grade point average at the end of the semester. So I think I ended up, passing the class with like a 77. And I'm talking about, I celebrated that 77 like it was a 97. Because for me, everyone's like, why are you so happy? I'm like, see, y'all see the glory, but you don't know what I was going. You don't see the story. You don't know the story and what I was really going through. I was about to fail this class. I would have been out of here. Wouldn't have been no more Dr. Fade, none of that. Wouldn't have been no, hey, we all family. That would have been over with. I'm done. So, man, I celebrated it, man. And I think that God had to put me through that situation to remind me of my mortality so that I could really lock in more. Because like I said, I was entering into the more clinical phase of of the program where it's time to be a doctor. It's time to think like a doctor now. You're no longer like a student just going to class taking tests. It's time to lock in. And it was like the jolt of momentum that I needed to take me to the next level. And I'm talking about from there, I vowed to never put myself in a situation like that ever again. And it turned me into a monster, man. So I went on and took pharmacology too, and I did well. Ocular pharmacology, and I did well. And every other thing, because like I said, I vowed to never be in a position that could cost me everything like that again. So why do I say all this? I said this story to let you know, like, listen, if you find yourself in a situation similar to this one, or not even in class, but even in life, if you find yourself failing at things in life, the point is that, like, one, if I can do it, you can do it. But I don't want you to think that that's the end of the story. This is really just the beginning for you. And it's time for you to lock in, keep your mental intact, because I almost lost my mental. It wasn't just the failing out of the program. I almost lost my mental because I was like, yo, this is going to defeat me. And I wouldn't let it defeat me. Keep your faith intact. This is the time to get up and keep it moving. Keep pushing. Keep your faith strong. Keep your mind strong, because it's not the end of the story. It's just the beginning. It's time to keep on riding. It's time to rise up and keep pushing it, because like I said, you can do it, but you got to know your limitations and your capabilities. Know what you need to do to get out of the situation you in, and do it. And if that requires you to get desperate enough to do things you have not done before, then you got to do that. It is what it is. But on the other side of the equation, you're going to look back, you're going to be thankful for every sacrifice you made and every journey you went through, because the process is what got you to where you are now. So I'm going to go ahead and leave y'all with that. If you've ever been in a situation like that that's somewhat similar in anything, if you ever took a class, you failed out of a class, anything, man, share with me, man. Put it down in the comments and let me see what you've been through or anything like that, man. But I'm going to leave y'all with that. I'm going to go ahead and sign off on this episode. I'm going to see y'all on the next episode. And always, never forget this. But keep your vision clear. Peace.